Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Smitty and Selitte season 3. And we are one day away from the NFL draft, Tom.
Yes, we are. This is going to be fun.
Today we're bringing you our draft special, where we go over the prospects, possible trades, and other surprises we may see in the draft.
Yes, we will.
So how about we just get straight to it and start getting to the prospects?
Let's do it.
Alright. So, how about we start with Andrew Thomas, left tackle.
He plays football.
Indeed.
Plays left tackle.
Uh-huh.
Been at Georgia for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Been there for 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good player.
So,
I hear he has poor technique. That's what I get.
mm-hmm. So what are your pros of him, Tom? What?
Plays left tackle very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
Big dude. Whenever I watched Georgia, he always held up pretty much. I watch Georgia a lot. Jake Fromm sucks. That's basically all I have. He's a good left tackle. I think he's going to be a good pro. I think he's a pretty safe pick for whoever takes him. And I think he'll be all right.
I have him tied for third in my O-line kind of rankings. I like him big, good footwork. I really like his second level blocking. The way he gets to the second level fast. And
there are a lot
gets
of
those
fast
linebackers
linemen
really good. Yeah.
in this draft. Everyone can run. Except me.
But the cons, I didn't really, not too impressive for me. I think he needs a bit of work. Just a bit, but not 100% pro level ready yet.
But I am. Bum, bum, bum.
You good?
Yes, I am.
His angles on blocks could use some work. I just don't think.
Technique.
Don't think he's definitely not worth the fourth or even a top 10.
In the words of SpongeBob, technique.
Mm-hmm. So overall, not too bad. Just got him tied for third. Not worth the fourth or top 10.
I think he goes in the top 20.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next we move on to Tristan Wirfs, right tackle.
Tristan Wirfs. This is the guy who is reported to be the Giants' likely pick at 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he's number 2 or 3 from what I've seen for me in terms of the O-lineman. He gets knocked back a good amount. When the pass rusher hits a guy, hits him, he goes back before he starts pushing them forward. So he's got to be quicker. That's basically the main thing that I see. He's fast, big dude, strong. He holds up pretty well, but there are times where he does get beat, and that's kind of concerning because when you're in the NFL, those guys are bigger and stronger, and you don't really want that.
Yeah, he's a right tackle. He could play left. He's taking snaps at left. So
I don't think he can. Honestly, I'm hearing that he might actually be a guard.
I've also heard that.
They said, he can turn into an all-pro right guard, but the Giants don't need a right guard. They need a tackle, right or left. If he could play right tackle, then I'm fine with it. But come on, but if he has to move the guard, that's a failure in my opinion. Because then we'd still be 2 tackles away. You know.
Plus, I didn't
don't.
find a lot of tape on him. It was not that good. Not that much tape.
Iowa is a fictional place, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So overall, I think he's good, just not great. Tied for third again in my rankings.
Yeah, he's like 2 or 3 for me.
Alright, now we move on to easily the number 1, in my opinion, Jedrick Wills.
He's good. He's the guy that I did the least amount of homework on. Just for the reason that, like, I keep hearing that he's really good, so I kind of wanted to get to everyone else. So I'm going to let you take this away, but I do have 1 or 2 things. He obviously played at Alabama, where their quarterback was left-handed, and he protected Tua's blind side. So that really would translate to the NFL playing left tackle with a right-handed quarterback. Or he could just go where Tua's going. But who knows where Tua's going. We'll get to that. So, yeah, I mean, he played for Alabama. He's very good at football. From what you've seen, is he fast? Can he do second-level blocking?
Absolutely. His movement is insane for an offensive lineman.
Well, that's good to hear.
He runs like damn near a running back. It's crazy how he gets to second level and like pull blocking.
Well, that just excites. That just gets the juices tingling here.
Not even 30 seconds when I was looking into his highlights, I was just blown away by how he moves. It's insane.
You're going to have to send me the highlight video.
And not only is his movement, but he just drags and throws people like it's nothing. He is
I like that.
A destructive force, man, at that tackle spot.
I like that.
It's just the only con I have about him is I just don't know if that dragging and throwing will translate well to the NFL. You know, like you said, bigger, stronger defensive ends. They don't get thrown around as easy.
Now, if he wants to be the biggest and the strongest, that'd be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think he's a top 10 pick for me. I think he'll find his way to be in the top 10. I really think the Giants should take him just because I feel like from what I saw, which isn't too much, from what I've seen, he's the most polished, and I think he's the guy that has the best chance of being a franchise left tackle in this draft class. All the other 3 guys, they have like their individual faults, but I really think that Wills is the guy to go with if you're going to pick a tackle.
So overall, I think this is the only lineman that's worth the 4, in my opinion. I wouldn't mind going. So, yeah, definitely. And then last but not least, Mekhi Becton, or Mekhi Becton. Don't know how to pronounce it.
Mekhi, I believe.
Okay. He's a swing tackle. He can play both sides.
That's what she said. Now, I didn't do too much homework. I think Wirfs and Thomas are the 2 that I have seen the most. Becton is a physical freak. I remember, I think he had a good combine, right? Pretty sure he had a good combine. I've seen videos of him running like full speed and just crushing dudes. He's a physical freak. I think his problems are like Andrew Thomas's. He's not as polished as Andrew Thomas either. I think he's just, it's a technique issue, and that's about where that is. I mean, I don't think he's played as much as Andrew Thomas. So I think he's probably like 4th or 3rd.
For me, I have him at number 2. It's just that, you know, he's huge, strong. He's got the long arms, good footwork. And again, he's all around good. He can get to the second level. It's just that My only concern is, does that translate well to the NFL? Will that strength, survive against some of these dominant pass rushers that we have to go up against? Will that be, or will it be a one-trick pony with the strength?
I would love a pony. That would be great. But yeah, I agree. Hopefully he's good at the football.
Mm-hmm.
If I really don't want another Eric Flowers situation. It's funny enough that we're talking about Wirfs moving to guard when Eric Flowers did move to guard last year and ended up getting $30 million.
From the Redskins.
Oh, no, from the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, Dolphins.
Yeah. What are we going to go full circle here? Is Dave Gettleman about to complete the Jerry Reese cycle of life?
Hopefully not.
In 3 years without the success? Dun,
right.
dun, dun. If you take Wirfs, you better be sure he's a tackle. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Especially if Wills is on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
and he will be. And he will be. I'm telling you.
So next we move on to the defense.
Defense.
So, I don't think we're going to draft him, but I wanted to scout him nonetheless. Jeffrey Okudah, cornerback.
Okudah is so good. Okudah. Oh, wow, I fucked that up. Alright. I've seen a lot of his college games. Believe he's from Ohio State. If I'm wrong, I'm an idiot. But yeah, he played for Ohio State. I remember watching Ohio State games because I was scouting Chase Young. Because remember, we were in the Chase Young sweepstakes, and then we won a meaningless game in Washington. But at least Daniel Jones played well.
Mm.
Now, he plays cornerback, and a cornerback is a very, very important position, especially in today's NFL, when you have to stop receivers and quarterbacks like Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Odell, yada yada yada. The list goes on, and now Tom Brady and Mike Evans,
mm-hmm.
Chris Godwin too.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Wait, oh, no, Bill traded him. I was waiting to do that. But you get what I'm saying. It's very important. It's very important to stop quarterbacks and wide receivers. And the only way to do that is to stop them, is to shut down their receivers and to get to the quarterback. So that's why Ohio State has been pretty successful, having 2 top 5 picks on their defense. I think they won a national championship over the past few years. Maybe. No, I think Clemson, Bama, and LSU have been the 3 teams to win. But that's not the point. I'm stalling here. I'm just kidding. He's good. He's good. Pretty sure he's more of a man corner from what I've seen. He's someone that can lock you down. I've heard that the other cornerback in this draft class, C.J. Henderson, is kind of closing in on him. And I've been hearing mixed reports about if Okudah is going to be in the top 10 pick, like we've been hearing that he has been. Like, the logical pick at 3 for the Lions is Okudah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting how C.J. Henderson has shot up the board. I have done no homework on C.J. Henderson. Where did he play?
I don't even know. I don't even know who he was.
Yeah, he's going to go in like the top 20, I believe, which is crazy. He just shot up. I've heard late first round reports on him, and then now he's a first. Now it seems like he's challenging Okudah for being the first cornerback taken. But back on Okudah, seems to be more of a man corner. Obviously, he had a lot of success at Ohio State. We all know that us Giants fans have had much success with Ohio State cornerbacks such as Eli Apple. You can't bring up Jeffrey Okudah without bringing up Eli Apple, because Eli Apple hurt us.
Well, there's a difference between Okuda and Eli Apple. Okuda is a first round pick. Eli Apple was a projected 6th round pick. That's the difference.
Yeah, but alright, we're good. Okuda, good. Alright? Lockdown cornerback. Does pretty much everything well. And I'm going to hand this one off to you. I'm going to pass the baton.
Mm-hmm. I just like if he's a 6'1" corner, obviously really shut down in man coverage, but he plays like a safety. It's crazy. Like when the ball's not near him, he just ball hawks and he likes to hit. Really good cornerback.
I like that.
Like I said, he's like the all-in-one DB. The only con I had with him is just, we don't need cornerback. We just got Bradbury, and we're just hoping some of ours develop. But I wouldn't be too mad if we took him if, worst case scenario happened.
I would like that, actually. But, yeah, I mean, I would like a shutdown cornerback. We haven't had one of those in, I don't know, how long? I mean, Janoris for a year. But
DRC for a bit.
But that's really about it. Corey Webster in his prime.
Good old Jason Sehorn before his knees went.
Jason Sehorn.
All right.
Those are some names.
Mm-hmm. Next,
Cody Webster, right? Webster. Corey. Okay, I got it right. All right. I always get Cody and Corey mixed up. I remember we had Cody Gore this year. Cody Core, actually. And I could not get his name in my mind for the longest time. And I still can't. And we signed him back. So I'm going to have to try again.
Try a bit harder. All right. Next we move on to Isaiah Simmons. Linebacker.
This is the guy.
He plays defense.
This is the guy that we thought we were going to take it for. It seems that he slipped a smidge. Like, it seems like he's going to go in that 10-11 range, it feels. But I wouldn't be surprised if he got taken earlier. But, yeah, I don't think the Giants are going to take him. I don't think the Lions are going to take him. I don't think the Dolphins or the Chargers are going to take him, but I do think the Panthers might take him.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been hearing reports that the Panthers are willing to trade back, so you never know, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, Simmons does everything. He can play safety, he can play slot corner, he can rush the passer, he can defend the pass. He is a ball hog. Like you said about Okuda. Everywhere the ball goes, he's ready to freaking murder someone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice because murder is legal in the NFL. That made me laugh. But yeah, I mean, he does everything well. I mean, he can stop wide receivers, he can stop tight ends, he can get to the quarterback. 8 sacks this year, and every year in college, he was more and more successful. So that's nice. So that's basically all I really have. He's an athletic freak. The only concern is that he doesn't really have a set position, and GMs like when players have set positions, usually. But I think if he's gonna play in the NFL, I think he's a linebacker. And I think you should just announce him as a linebacker, and if your team has some injuries or something, it's nice to know he has the versatility to go play some slot corner, play some safety, etc.
I just don't know what to say that has not been said about him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking snaps at damn near every position. He can cover, he can blitz. There's no cons for this man. You take him. That's a.
He even plays water boy on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm. Jack of all trades on defense. He's there. If we take him, I love it.
He's the Isaiah of all trades.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can make something work out in a trade where we can get him and a tackle, but we'll be talking about that later.
I'm pretty sure Isaiah is a biblical name.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
All right. Now we move on to one of our last defensive prospects, Chase Young.
Chase Young. That dude's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Big dude. Great hair. He's going to be a Redskin. And it's pretty set in stone. The first two picks are going to be Joe Burrow and Chase Young. Now, but what I will say about Chase Young, he is a athletic freak. He was such a freak at getting to the quarterback that in his later games he wasn't as productive because he was getting double teamed. They put the offensive lines of the teams that he was facing were putting all their energy on stopping him.
Mm.
So, dude's a freak. I think he got like 13 something sacks, and he missed a game or two.
Mm-hmm. Broke the school's record for sacks.
Yeah, it was either 13 or 16.
Something around the 10s.
Yeah, it was way over 10. That's all
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's just, again, same thing with Simmons. Nothing to say that hasn't been said. Perfect blend of that speed, power, and finesse. Mm-hmm. Again, another pick you just can't go wrong with. If he's at 4, absolutely have to take him. It'll be a rare chance, but I still think there's a chance.
And now the Giants have to deal with him. I hope they do.
All right. So I think that takes care of it for the first round, unless you have someone that you want to add.
I mean, quarterbacks? Oh, you mean for defense?
Well, altogether for first round.
Oh, well, there are some quarterbacks that we might need to talk about.
Well, I think there's one, but...
I mean, there's Burrow, Tua. I think Jordan Love and Justin Herbert are going to go. They say Herbert might go in front of Tua. So that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Justin Herbert might be a Miami Dolphin tomorrow.
Possibly. But I don't know. I don't think I think they really want Tua. I haven't heard nothing but Tua to the Dolphins.
I'm hearing a lot of Herbert for the Dolphins. I wonder if Herbert gets taken by the Dolphins, how far Tua would fall.
No, I think he'd fall to Chargers. I don't think he'd fall that far.
Huh. Yeah. That's tough.
I'm looking at this right now on ESPN. They want to give Tyrod Taylor a shot, but they're open to drafting Herbert or Tua at 6.
They better be. I mean, Tyrod Taylor's a really good quarterback, and he got screwed in Buffalo, but I mean, I think Tyrod's already in his 30s. You know, I think it'd be smart to bring in someone younger. He's not old. Younger. You know, maybe more upside, like Tua. Tua's a guy that isn't really an immediate threat for the starting job because of the injury. So I think Tua would be a good fit there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Because if Tyrod stinks it up, then you could say, hey, Tua, get your ass in there.
We don't care if you have a broken back. Get out there.
Yeah. Broken hip.
That was a hip that was back.
It was a hip. Which is a pretty gruesome injury. Imagine not being able to use your side.
Especially when a lot of planting goes into the QB position.
Yep. And gardening.
Anything else you want to throw on top?
So I'll get into Joe Burrow. That he's number 1. He's going number 1. He has the greatest season by any college quarterback. He is a freak. He can make any throw. He has great hair. Looks like Macaulay Culkin, the kid from Home Alone. His deep throws are ridiculous. I've never seen a guy be able to throw that accurately deep besides like Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. He's not Aaron Rodgers or Mahomes. He doesn't have the arm strength, but he's got good arm strength. he just makes every throw on the field, and he's always so composed. Like, I don't have any negatives.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And he never had a bad game. Not one. Not one bad game. You think out of 15 games he'd play one bad? Nope. Dude's going number 1 to the Bengals. Enjoy life in purgatory, because you're never winning a championship there. I'm telling you that. And on to Jordan Love. Jordan Love is the wild card of this draft. This dude could go in the top 10, or he could go in the second round. That's how crazy his draft stock is. He has some serious arm talent, but he had a bad final year of college. He was not good this year. But the year before, he was great. And so he's like one of these guys whose production dropped, but the talent is so crazy good that he's worth taking a shot on. Now, then you get into Herbert, and Herbert's dropping for me. He does not have good footwork. I think footwork's really important. You see Herbert on a short pass, he just completely airmails him because of the poor footwork. And he's just not accurate, and he really does remind me of 2 quarterbacks that are known for not being accurate, and that's Trubisky and Josh Allen. And those aren't really the greatest comparisons to have.
One better than the other.
Yeah. He's got the only reason that Justin Herbert is being considered as a first-round quarterback is that he's a big white dude that throws the ball really hard. He can run a little bit too. But, he doesn't put any touch on the ball. If you ask this dude to throw a touch pass, he's just not able to do it. He just doesn't know the concept of taking a little off. You gotta be able to manipulate the football in a way when you play quarterback, and I just don't see that. If you ask him to throw a fastball, he's good at it. If you ask him to throw basically anything else, a touch pass, deep, a lob, etc., it's not something he's able to do. Now there's another wild card who Jacob Eason out of Washington. Now he might be a first round pick. He doesn't make the greatest decisions, but he's got a ton of physical tools and a lot. But I've heard kind of work ethic concerns. I've heard that's basically what a decision making and work ethic concerns. Those are the 2 things, because he took a year off from playing college to transfer, and then he was still having trouble with the playbook. So some people were wondering, well, did he work hard enough behind the scenes? Yada yada yada. But those physical tools that he has, he's way better than Herbert in my opinion. I would take Eason over Herbert. So that's my hot take. So those are the quarterbacks for me. I love quarterbacks.
You sure do. You sure do.
So my official rankings are Joe Burrow, Tua, probably Love, Eason, Herbert.
All right, sounds fair.
And my leg fell asleep, but continue.
I would like to move on to our 2 little second-round buzzes that I picked up last night.
Yes.
I was going through a whole bunch of mock drafts, and I found these 2 players that showed up a lot in the second rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with Denzel Mims, wide receiver.
He catches the football.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't do too much homework on him because I passed out twice. Not once, twice. So I'm going to ask you to give your scouting report in the form of questions. So, question 1. what kind of wide receiver is he? Is he this big dude that can go up and get it? Is he the shorter guy that can burn you with his speed? Is he Plexico Burress or is he Tyreek Hill?
He's that 6'3", Calvin Johnson type player where he's not going to run you routes, but he's going to jump up and grab it, dude. And his ball placement is crazy. Like, if it's tipped, he knows where it's going.
Ooh. I loved how in the NFL we can talk about ball placement and it's not weird. Now, but
it's only weird if you make it weird.
It's only weird if you make it weird. I like that. Can he run?
He can decently run.
So DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Show some shades of that.
Throw him some streaks. Say, just go up and get it, my friend. Go up and get it.
Yeah, so he's definitely a good wide receiver. Like I said, showing some good shades of Johnson and Metcalf.
I like that.
Definitely looks a bit rough. I don't think he can be that wide receiver one.
He is the next Julio Jones. What are you talking about? No, I'm kidding.
But we need that vert guy, and I think he can be that vert guy, even if he looks a little rough.
Well, we've got a bunch of 5'8" slot receivers, so we kind of need someone with a little more juice here. We've got come on now. We have no number one wide receiver, and we have a young rookie quarterback who gets killed every play and doesn't have anyone to throw to that can make an impact. Shepard and Tate are fine, but, they're not these 1,000-yard receivers. I think Tate used to be, but he's not that anymore. He's like one of the worst wide receivers at getting separation. The Giants need a number one receiver eventually.
And this could be the draft. It's this very deep wide receiver draft.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can find one in the third round.
That would be nice.
But I've just seen a lot of buzz around this Denzel Mims, and, if we take him at the second round, I wouldn't be too distraught. I think it's a decent pick.
I don't disagree.
Then we move on to the other one that I've seen, Zach Vaughn, linebacker.
Plays linebacker. Now, I've heard a lot about him, and I just didn't care for the longest time. I got drafted burnt out from the draft. But what I will say is he plays linebacker, and he's got a cool name. And when you've got a cool name, there's a 0% chance that you're going to fail in the NFL. So he's already a safe pick in my mind, although I've seen 0% of his footage. But from what I've heard, I believe he's more of a pass rushing linebacker?
Yes. He's very good at the rush, and he's very good in the run stuff.
Yes. I believe I've seen his combine, and he did some drills, or his pro day, one of those, and he looked really good. And I remember he was more of like this third round guy, and now he's kind of crept up to the early second round. Mm-hmm. So that's what happens in the draft process. People skirt on up. And this is one of those guys. So I would not be surprised if he gets taken even in like the late first at this point. So, good luck, Zach.
Like I said, good in the pass rush, great in the run stop, but I just don't think he's really what we need. If we're getting a linebacker, he needs to be a do-it-all type player, especially in the pass coverage.
Mm-hmm.
So, good player, just don't think he'll fit what we need right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's it for the prospects, unless you want to throw anything else in there.
We can throw the wide receivers in there because the class is ridiculous. We won't do all the wide receivers. We'll just do the main, 3 or 4.
Well, okay. Then I'll hand the stage to you in that department.
Jerry Jeudy, route running extraordinaire. That's all I'll say. Runs good routes. Occasional drop from what I've seen, but for the most part, his hands are like super glue. He's probably the best route runner in the class. I'm hearing though he might drop because he has a knee issue. He had meniscus surgery, and he's been having knee issues. So you might see him drop. Raindrops keep on. You get the point. Now, but I do think he's going to go in the first round pretty early. I don't think he's going to slide too much. Probably a top 15 pick. And then the next is C.D. Lamb out of Oklahoma, and I watch a lot of Oklahoma games.
This is the one I've heard about a lot.
Yes. I have a lot of fun with Oklahoma. They've been a really fun program for a lot of years. I mean, they had Baker for 2 years, and they had Kyler Murray for a year. Then he went to play for the Oakland Athletics. No, I'm kidding. And then they had Jalen Hurts, C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb's been there for all three of them, I believe. I think he was there for Baker's last year, he was there for Kyler's year, and he's there for Hurts's year. And this dude is just, oh my God. Like, he's ridiculous, man. When he gets the ball, first of all, he can juke your ass out. He can get to the end zone just on his own. He's like a one-man machine when he has the ball in his hands. But also, he's a he's a decently sized man. I mean, he can go up and get it, too. There's really nothing he can't do. I haven't seen any real flaws. I haven't seen many drops from him either. Like, he's just a machine. He's so good. He's so fast. He's ridiculous, man. Those two guys, Jerry Jeudy and C.D. Lamb, are just ridiculous.
I've heard nothing but good things about C.D. Lamb. He's even popped up in a few of our mock drafts.
He's not getting taken very far from Jeudy. They're pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And then Henry Ruggs, so fast. He's probably number 3 for me, but he might go over those two guys because he's just an athletic freak. So those are the main 3. Then you got the LSU guy, Justin Jefferson, who seems to be sliding a little bit, but I watched a lot of LSU too, and he was really Joe Burrow's number 1 guy, and he had a great year. This dude can catch anything, deep throws to the back shoulder. He can do anything. He just goes. He's a pretty big wide receiver from what I remember, and he knows how to catch a football. That dude can go and get the football, especially on deep routes. I mean, dude's got great hands too. He catches everything, runs solid routes, does pretty much everything well. And I think he's gonna go in the first round. Mm. Look at me with my analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Then honorable mentions. You got T. Higgins, Jalen Reagor. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm sorry. Jalen Reagor. Sorry, buddy. KJ Hill. Yada, yada, yada. There's a USC kid, Michael Pittman, et cetera, et cetera. We all know the names.
Okay, is that it for your wide receiver showcase there?
Pretty much, yeah. There's like 15 different guys. That's not even an exaggeration. Oh, you got also Antonio Gandy Golden. He's going to be more like a 4th round receiver, but he's a big dude. And he can catch footballs. And I like that.
Anything else?
Yes. All right. Yes, we're good.
All right. I'd like to move on to the trades now. Possible trades that we can run into.
Possible trades. Well, there are many teams. It seems to be a trade-a-palooza here. Seems like everybody wants to get out of their pick.
A lot of us want to go down. A lot of people want to go up.
I would love to go down.
So let's start with what I think is the most possible trade for us, the Dolphins.
Oh.
I think...
Oh. I'm kidding. The Giants pick might be a very sought-after pick. We could trade, one spot with the Dolphins. We can trade 2 spots with the Chargers. We could trade 3 spots with the Panthers if they want to get someone. I don't know. Really, those are really the 3 options that I'm considering. But, you also got a team with multiple first-round picks in the Raiders, even though they're a little later in the draft. You can't discount the fact that they have 2 first-round picks. And so also the Dolphins have multiple first-round picks, and that's the team that I would want to trade with, because you can get the fifth overall pick, which is only 1 spot, and if they're going to trade up, they're taking a quarterback. So it's not like we're taking a quarterback, unless Dave Gunman loves Justin Herbert. But just get if someone's offering me, multiple high picks for this 1 pick, and you're only moving down 1 or 2 spots, that's something you have to do. Sorry.
So like I said, I think Dolphins is our most possible. I think we can swap the 4 and 5, maybe get another one of those firsts out of them. Hold them hostage there.
I love holding people hostage. It's a very fun aspect of life.
But then this is one that's died down, but I think it's at least worth talking about a little bit. The Jaguars in a possible Yannick trade.
Yeah, that Yannick controversy, we talked about that earlier. What a life. I think they might go cornerback. I've seen C.J. Henderson mocked to the Jaguars a lot. So I think that's where I'm thinking. But I don't see them taking quarterback. I don't see them trading up.
Like I said, the only way we do that is we want to possibly get Yannick, but I don't see it unless we have to trade another big contract. Do they take Leonard off of us? If we do, I have no clue.
I would drive him to the airport just because Yannick is so much better.
They want a D tackle too, so.
Oh shit, we've got like 4 of them.
But alright, next you've already brought this one up, but I've heard a lot of mocks talk about this one, but I haven't seen a lot of follow-up to it. The Raiders swapping the 4th for the 12th and the 19th from the Raiders.
I would consider it, but I just don't know how I feel about moving down like 8 spots like that. It's a pretty chunky decision to make. I wouldn't do it. I don't think I'd do it unless you just want to give me your 2nd, your 3rd, probably next year's 2nd. I'd ask for a lot, just because moving down 8 spots is a big gamble, especially when you know that one of the tackles is probably going to get taken within those 8 picks.
And then, like I said, another one you also brought up, the Chargers. This is one that I'm not 100% about, just because I don't know what they're willing to give up and if they even want to trade.
They're a weird team.
I think they're sitting comfortable at 6. I don't think they're going to want to move, but I have heard, a little bit of noise on a Chargers trade, just not 100%.
anyone that wants to trade with us and give us more assets, I'm willing to discuss.
I know Gettleman started off, he said balls in your court, but now he looks like he's sounding a bit more desperate to get the trade done now.
More like balls in your face.
Classy.
Classy. We're a classy pod here. We're a classy pod. Yeah, I mean, this is the ideal scenario, and, you might see the Lions trade down too, which is the big wild card. The draft starts with the Lions. Let's not kid ourselves. The draft starts with the Lions. Burrow's going first. Chase Young's going second. Now the third and fourth picks are for sale, etc., etc.
So I think that caps it off for the trades, unless there's anything else that you want to add in.
Give me more draft picks.
I agree.
So the night doesn't end early. We had like three first round picks last year. And
we traded back up.
We took a defensive tackle, made the entire fan base mad by taking a quarterback that people didn't want, except he turned out to be good, so thank you for that. And we took a cornerback who hasn't been good.
Hopefully he'll get better. Alright, so next, I just want to move into some small draft day surprises.
Ooh.
I think number one that might come out of this is possibly an Ingram trade.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. And I don't think I would trade Ingram. I don't think I would.
All I know is that it's contract year for Ingram. Can he stay healthy? Do we want to see if he can stay healthy this year? Maybe we try to dump him off for a, decent pick. I don't think we'll do it, but I think it was at least worth
He's a
bringing up.
first-round pick, so he's got a fifth-year option, so really he's under contract for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely keep him. I don't unless we get like a crazy offer. Because Daniel Jones barely has anyone good to throw to anyways. So now we're gonna take away this athletic freak of a tight end. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to get my quarterback killed and also give him no help. Right now he's got a little bit of help, but he really needs more help, not less help. So keep Ingram.
Another surprise. What are the odds you think Chase Young drops the floor?
0. Like, I think he is a Redskin. He just hasn't put on the jersey yet.
Wow.
Joe Burrow is a Cincinnati Bengal. Chase Young is a Redskin. Those are the two absolutes in life besides death and taxes.
I don't know. You're putting a lot of faith into that Redskins organization to make the right decision.
This is one even they're not gonna mess with. They're just gonna. They're just gonna put the draft card and take Chase Young, unless they do some technical difficulties or some shit.
Like I said, I think there's a chance they either trade or they do something stupid. I'm not. It might take the stars and the planets aligning, but I think there's still a chance he can fall to 4.
It's just a 0% chance.
Okay. Any other surprises you think that'll pop up on draft day?
Any other surprises that I think will pop up in draft day? The Jets pick is actually going to be fun because they're deciding between a receiver and a tackle. So I think I'm going to be surprised either way. I just don't know why. I was like, they took Jerry Jeudy. They took Andrew Thomas. But I don't really see any surprises other than the quarterbacks. I think, the quarterback, or I think you might see like 5 quarterbacks get taken in the first round. Don't count out Jacob Eason. I think Jordan Love's going to be in the first round. It's crazy, but I think the main surprise that you're looking at is like how far would Tua drop? Where's Tua going?
And also, I forgot about this. This is something that just came out not even a few hours ago. It's a complete smokescreen, but I still want to talk about it.
What's
The
up?
Dolphins are talking about trading to 3 to draft an offensive tackle. This is a report that came out a few hours earlier. Picked up by Schefter and a bunch of other beat writers.
Take Wirfs. So we back in Gettleman to take Wills.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
I just think that's
so
absolutely
bizarre.
crazy. Complete RKO out of nowhere.
I think the only reason you should ever trade up, because you have to give up a lot of assets, is to take a quarterback. I don't understand that.
I just thought it was worth bringing up because it was completely out of left field.
Never out of right field.
All right. That's all that I had. Anything else you want to talk about today, sir?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Okay.
Yes, there is, Damon Selitte.
Okay. Sir.
This is a draft of Palooza. This is a draft of Palooza. So, Joe Burrow to the Bengals. Chase Young.
That's our fourth time bringing that up.
Wait, I'm not done. Chase Young to the Redskins. I'm gonna say the Lions keep their pick and go Okuda. I'm gonna say the Giants take a tackle at 4. I think they may trade. So I'm gonna say they trade to 5 and swap with Miami for the first round pick and one of their later first round picks. I'm just gonna do the top 12, the top 11. All right, This is my mock. So then Miami is gonna shock the world. They're gonna take Herbert at 4. Okay, the Giants will then take. I've been hearing so much about Tristan Wirfs that I'm gonna say, okay, we're gonna take him. I've kind of given up on that, on taking Wills, just because I've heard so much about Wirfs. Then, the Chargers, they say, oh crap, Tua's available. They're going to take Tua. So I've got Tua going to the Chargers. 7 is Carolina. Right? 7 is Carolina. They're going to take Isaiah Simmons, I believe. 8 is the Browns. Something like that. Wait, hold up. Let me get the draft order up. I don't want to screw this up. I should have had this up earlier. Draft order. After 6, I just don't care anymore. So the draft order. All right, I got it. Cincinnati, yeah, Burrow, Young, Okuda. Then we trade with Miami. Miami takes Herbert. We take Wirfs. The Chargers take Tua. Carolina takes Simmons. Arizona picks Ace. Arizona is going to take a tackle. I'm going to say they take Jedrick Wills. All right? Jacksonville, I'm going to say they take C.J. Henderson, cornerback. And then Cleveland is going to take a tackle too. So I took Wills. I took Wirfs. I'm going to say Andrew Thomas. Then that leaves the top 3 tackles are gone for the Jets. They're gone. So I'm going to say they're going to say, fuck it, we're going to take a wide receiver. I'm going to say Jerry Jeudy is a New York Jet. Boom. So those are my 11. And yeah, this is fun. And by the way, Miami holds the 18th and the 26th pick, as well as the 5th pick. So if you could get 5 and 26 for to move down one spot, I think that's something you do. So I'm a genius. Also, one last thing to talk about is Rob Gronkowski came back.
Yep, I was going to bring that one up.
I think that's really something that merits conversation.
Absolutely.
What the hell? I mean, Bill Belichick got a 4th rounder for a wrestler.
Yeah, our 24/7 champion.
Not anymore. I think he has to give up the title.
No, WWE said he will still defend it, even if he's on the field.
He really, this is crazy. I've seen some of the Boston sports fans' reactions to Brady and him going, and it's just it's a thing of beauty. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. That's all I'll say. I like that.
I just want to see where it goes. Are they gonna turn up, or is we gonna see Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce on the Nets type players?
Mm-hmm. I like Kevin Garnett. He played basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gronkowski back. Does he have anything left? That's the question.
Oh, he's definitely got plenty left in the tank.
He lost a lot of weight.
5 years. Yeah, he did, but
he lost a lot of weight. Now he's gonna have to put it back on.
yeah, I'll give him maybe 2 weeks to put it back on. Dude's a freak.
He's just gonna drink a ton of beer, he's just gonna get that Thor body. Then he's the fat Thor body. Alright? And then he's just gonna shape that into muscle. Ooh, from 6 hours ago, is this reliable? Source: Bengals have informed Joe Burrow that he's the pick.
Ooh. Like you said on Monday, they want
to. Well, it's not something that you really can hide or anything. It's like, alright, everybody knows. What, are people gonna be shocked if Joe Burrow's number 1 on Thursday? No! Because everyone knew. So, I remember Andrew Luck got announced as the first overall pick, the day before the draft. So I was kind of thinking, oh, they should do that again. Said Joe Burrow, yada yada. Source came close, said the Bengals informed Burrow.
Jordan Love to the Patriots.
Ooh, dude. Ooh. With those tools and Bill Belichick, that'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. This draft is pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. This is one of my more favorite drafts.
We're rambling at this point.
Yes, we are. But is there anything else? We talked about defensive players. We talked about offensive players. We talked about quarterbacks, receivers, tackles. All the main pieces of this draft we got to talk about. Talked about pretty much everyone you can talk about, yada, yada, yada. We talked about what the Giants are going to do, what other teams are going to do, what's next. This has been a fun draft-a-palooza. We'll probably do a draft reaction. If I'm angry, that's going to be fun. If I'm happy, that's going to be even more fun, specifically for my blood pressure. Alright, so don't fuck this one up. Can we just take Will's? Please. That's all I'll say.
Okay. And I guess that's all. We'll see you guys next time with our draft reactions. Hopefully it's a very sweet reaction, not angry.
With the Giants, it's usually always anger. But this year, it's different. No, it's not.
Alright.
How do you get a top 4 pick and take Tristan Wirfs? Alright, that's all I'll say. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.